everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a 24-hour readathon. It is already 6 in the evening and we are starting at 8, and by we I mean me and my patrons. I am so excited. So it's actually the 14th of February, so it's Valentine's Day. To be honest with you, me and Jamsha don't do anything for Valentine's really. I got him a card, he got me some flowers. Very cute, but yes, other than that we don't like make plans or anything. So we're probably going to be watching Physical 100, which is the best show of the moment, and then he's going to be watching the football. I'm going to start reading at 8 o'clock. So yeah, that's what this vlog is going to be. And to be honest with you, I haven't been vlogging that much recently. I have been super busy and stressed kind of simultaneously. Some of the stuff that I was busy with was actually really fun. I went away to Copenhagen with my friends. I had my birthday, which was really nice, but I've also had some really stressful things going on as well, like exciting but stressful. So I haven't had that much time for reading, and I recently just finished Yellowface by R. Kwong. I was lucky enough to get an ARC of that book and it was so good. I've given it a mental 4.5, 4.5 stars. It just didn't hit the way that I thought it would, but I so enjoyed reading it. Like I couldn't stop reading it. So I really want to carry on that trend of like just getting into a book and not wanting to put it down. So I'm going to quickly run through some books that I might want to pick up in the next 24 hours. So the first book that I would love to get around to is The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. This is the standard paperback size that I got in Denmark. I am so excited about this one. A lot of people I know have read it already and I haven't really looked at any reviews or anything. I'm just really excited to get back into Elfame. I'm so excited to see where Holly Black takes this. So this will be one of the first, if not the first book of the readathon. Another book that I'm really excited about is Kiki's Delivery Service, and I got this from my lovely patron Lauren. So I would love to read this during this readathon. It is relatively short. It is technically a middle grade or a children's book, and I've been so excited to read this, but I wanted this edition specifically. It has really cute illustrations. So yes, I'm adding this one to my TBR. So along the same lines as Yellowface, set in the publishing industry, kind of a thriller, is The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Delilah Harris. I've been really excited about this one since the summer when I found out about it. I definitely think this is a good option if I want to be gripped by a book and not put it down. This is exactly the sort of vibe it gives me, and I really feel like today is the day. Okay, so another two books that could be in the running are books that I started recently, like in January, and just haven't finished yet, and that is Bliss Montage by Ling Ma, which is a collection of short stories, and then this one, Bad Cree by Jessica Johns, which is a story about an Indigenous Canadian woman who has these really messed up nightmares about her sister's death. So yeah, I feel like I should prioritize these ones in a way, just because I was already reading them, and Bad Cree is an ARC and it literally just got published as well, so I would really love to finish that one quite soon. So yeah, I feel like these ones are good books to add to the list just in case I'm feeling either of them. So yes, before I get carried away, here is my TBR stack. As always, I've got a couple of manga that I can fall back on if I want a quick refresh. I've got 2 more volumes of The Girl from the Other Side. If I'm in the mood for them, I'll definitely pick them up. But yeah, I'm so excited about these books. Next time you see me, I'll probably be in my PJs, ready to pick up my first read, whatever that may be. For Valentine's Day.
Inside you. I can hear mine now, in my own voice, strong and clear. All it took was to stop listening to the stories everyone else told about me. Because this is it.
the only life we get. Let's make the most of it.
Good morning, everybody. So it's a bit later than I wanted to get up. It is 9:30, and since I've been awake, I've been listening to the audiobook Mean Baby by Selma Blair, which is an autobiography. So that was another book that I've been reading, and last night I ended up reading 47 pages of The Stolen Heir before my eyes got really tired. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I got like this really weird temperature and like felt super sleepy. So I ended up going to bed like quite early, like 10 o'clock. And I put this like really nice face mask on from Champneys, and I put my earphones in and just started listening to Mean Baby again, because I haven't picked that up or like listened to it for a couple of weeks now, and I was really into it when I was reading it in January. So yeah, I thought I might as well finish the audiobook that I was on before starting like a new one, because I knew I wanted to listen to something rather than read something physically, just because I said my eyes were so tired and I was like really sleepy. So I pretty much listened to that until I fell asleep. And then this morning I made myself this coffee because I am feeling kind of tired, and just finished listening to the last couple of chapters. I always feel like really weird giving an autobiography a rating, just because obviously they're talking about their lives, and yeah, I can critique like how they wrote it, but it's their story, so I don't know. It always feels a bit weird to me. On Goodreads, I've given it 4 stars. I find these books so interesting. I don't know what it is about autobiographies written by specifically actresses, about their upbringing and their time in the industry. I guess I'm just really curious and nosy about that kind of thing. After listening to Jeanette McCurdy's autobiography last year, I just really wanted to start reading more biographies and like non-fiction in general, because I didn't realize how much I could actually really enjoy them. And Selma Blair's somebody that I've been really interested in but don't know much about, and I don't think I knew until I started reading the book that she developed MS, which is a condition that I'm very familiar with. Somebody in my family had MS, so listening to her talk about her point of view struggling through that was very enlightening for me, and just a window for me to understand a little bit more the point of view of somebody who does have MS. When my family member had MS, I was quite young. I was never able to talk to them about it. I was still a child when they died. So yeah, listening to Selma Blair talk about that wasn't obviously the only thing the book was about. A lot of it was about her childhood, and I just find that so fascinating, hearing about other people's childhoods. They don't even need to be famous. People's experience growing up and their relationship with their parents and stuff. And yeah, I don't think I'll ever not find that fascinating, like getting to know somebody and like hearing about their family history and like them growing up and like where they grew up and all of these things. When I first meet someone, I ask them so many questions, which probably is really annoying, but like that's just me getting to know somebody. So yeah, the only reason I gave it 4 stars instead of 5 stars is just because, unlike Jeanette McCurdy's autobiography, which is very chronological, this one did jump around just a little bit, and at some points at the beginning of some chapters I was kind of confused as to where we were in her life. I just felt like the structure of the book could have been done a little bit better, but other than that I honestly have no complaints and found it very interesting, and I'm really glad that I finally finished it, because that is my 7th book of the year and first book for this readathon finished. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that one, but I am going to try and read more of The Stolen Heir now, because before I got tired, was really enjoying it. So we're actually following the point of view of someone called Ren or Soren, and she was actually briefly mentioned in the Cruel Prince series, and I do remember her. I think at first I was like, who is this? I haven't read the synopsis or like the back of the book or anything before I started reading it, and I just obviously assumed, like what we've been told, that it was about somebody else. So I just assumed it would be from his point of view. So it's 100 times more interesting to me already. But having remembered her, I know that her story is like super intriguing, and it's just really cool to have this from her point of view. So yeah, I'm so excited to continue reading this book. I'm just so excited to be reading another Holly Black book, to be honest. I haven't read one since The Queen of Nothing, and that was in the summer of 2022. So yeah, it's been a little while since I picked up one of her books. I haven't wanted to read Book of Night, to be honest, because of all the reviews. I will eventually get around to it. I want to make up my own mind about it. I am really excited to keep reading. I think it's off to a really strong start. It already like made me feel way more emotional than any of the other 3 books in the Folk of the Air trilogy. It already made me nearly cry, just because I felt so sorry for this girl and like what she has been through. So yeah, the first 2 books of the readathon have been tinged with sadness. But yeah, I think I'm gonna finish my coffee now and start reading The Stolen Heir again. It is such a nice day. You can probably tell the sunlight on me right now is making me very happy. But yeah, I'm gonna start reading again, and then I will update you guys once I've got a bit further in the book. Hello everybody, so it is now 2:30 and I'm in the middle of some Patreon reading sprints and I've made some good progress. It is a tiny bit slow, not gonna lie, but I am now halfway through the Stolen Heir and I'm on chapter 10, which is page 173, so literally just before halfway through. And I've decided that I'm going to take a break now just because it is already 2:30. I've only got until 8 o'clock and I did want to read some other books, so I kind of realized that I potentially won't be able to actually finish this, but that is okay. I kind of want to take my time with it and really enjoy it anyway, since the second book in the duology isn't going to come out for a long time, probably like a year. So yeah, I'm taking my time with this one and I'm really enjoying it. We've just got to a bit, if you read it then you'll know kind of what I'm talking about, in chapter 9, where it really reminds me of the kind of last act of ACOTAR of A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. It reminds me of that whole setting and the kind of like challenges part, which I don't want to like spoil either book for you guys, but yeah, if you've read both of those then you might know what I mean by that and the comparison. But I'm really enjoying it because that was like a massive part of the reason that I loved ACOTAR, was the ending of it. And we're kind of getting that whole kind of plot line in the middle of this book, which is so fun. I feel like the pacing of this book is really good because it introduced us slowly, and to be honest with you, you do need to remember some of the things that happened in The Cruel Prince and the Fog of the Air trilogy to kind of pick up on what's going on in this one. There is still a lot of the fairy court politics and a lot of the characters are mentioned or pop up as well, so it's really important that you kind of remember what went on in that trilogy. And now we're halfway through and we've already gotten like way into the action and the kind of journey that these characters are going on. And again, I don't really want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to say much more than that, but it is really good. And I think I enjoyed the first half of this more than I enjoyed the first half of The Cruel Prince, which I loved. So yeah, this definitely bodes well. I hope that the momentum keeps going. And I did have a sneak peek at some of the reviews on Goodreads and I think the ending of this might be a bit of a cliffhanger. Something wild is going to happen. I don't know, I'm a bit scared, but yeah, I am so enjoying this. And I was telling my patrons on the sprints that I think before the last one comes out I might do a reread of the whole series, including The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, The Queen of Nothing, and this one again before reading the final book in this kind of companion series, because this is listed as book 4 on Goodreads, so it definitely is meant to be read together. But yeah, as I'm halfway through, I think I'm going to take a break from this one now and enjoy one of my other reads. I can't even remember if I told you guys in the introduction to this blog, but I do now have volume 4 of The Girl from the Other Side, which is a staple in a lot of my readathons recently, and I've been waiting for this one for a long time. I ordered it ages and ages ago and it only just arrived like last week, so yeah, I'm really excited to actually get back into this series. And I think I'm going to read this one now before going on with The Stolen Heir. Either that or I'm going to read this one and then go on to Kiki's Delivery Service before it gets dark, because I would really love to read this in one sitting with some Kiki music on in the background, and while it's still light, I feel like it's an afternoon one sitting cozy read. So I'm really excited and I do really want to read both of these, or at least part of this, today. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. I don't know how many books I'm going to be able to finish in the next few hours, but we'll see. I am doing some reading sprints, so it's keeping me motivated, and I will be doing some more later. So yes, I think that's it for this update, and hopefully it won't be too long before I speak to you guys next. Oh my gosh, I'm really sad now. I just finished volume 4 and ended the sprints. I'm so sad, like, God, I don't even know what's happening half of these volumes, but this volume was really sad. Like there were a lot of ups and downs, and I read it very quickly, by the way, in like half an hour. But yeah, I went through so many emotions with this one. I was literally like, this lady is a bitch. And now I'm really sad over something that happened to her. So wow, yeah, the emotions are high. These volumes go way too quick. I think I'm gonna have to give this one another 4 stars. Nothing still compares to the first volume. It was just pure happiness in manga and just like intrigue. and I am very intrigued to read the next volume of this one because it just left it on yet another cliffhanger, as expected, because every single volume is like that. But yeah, I'm gonna give this one another 4 stars. So yes, this is my second book of the readathon finished, a very quick little one, kind of as a break between The Stolen Heir. So yeah, I'm really happy that I read this. I'm so glad that it came in time for this readathon, and I'm going to log it into Goodreads now. I also need to log it into Corpile because I've been using Corpile recently. I think I mentioned it in a vlog around Christmas time. I don't really use the Corpile rating for mangas just because I think it's very hard to judge them on like writing and structure and stuff like that, especially if it's just like one singular volume that's very, very short. But yeah, I'm gonna put all the other information in, and then I'm gonna make myself some lunch because it's past 3 o'clock now. I still haven't had like a proper lunch like meal, so that's what I'm gonna do. I think I might listen to The Stolen Heir while I cook, but after that I think I want to start Kiki's delivery service, which I'm so excited about. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, and I will update you guys in a little bit. Hello everyone, sorry about the fan noise. We've got a dehumidifier in our room. I have started reading Kiki's Delivery Service since I last spoke to you guys, and I am now at page 126. The chapter's called Kiki Solves the Captain's Problem, and this book is so cute, you guys. I am using the little gift note as my bookmark, so I'm just going to pop that in there. But yeah, I am well over halfway through now because the book is only 193 pages, and hopefully I can finish it before this readathon ends because I have about an hour and 10 minutes left, and if I get a move on, maybe I can finish it just in time. But yeah, just to update you guys on The Stolen Heir, I got over halfway through. I'm over 200 pages in now, which is really great progress, and I kind of want to leave it there and read it in my own time and like not rush through it to finish it by a certain time. So I thought it would be nice to pick this up to finish off the readathon, and I'm very happy with that decision. So yeah, if you didn't know, this is a middle grade. It's kind of on the top end of the middle grade, so it's for ages 10 and up, and it's the story that inspired Hayao Miyazaki's Studio Ghibli film Kiki's Delivery Service. It's about a young witch who turns 13, and as a witch's coming of age, they have to kind of take off away from their hometown and discover a new place and set up shop there and kind of work on their talents. Even though it's really cute, it's quite brutal in that way because they're leaving their parents at age 13, but all of these little witches have a cute cat with them. So Kiki has Gigi, which you can see on the cover there, and she has her broom, and yeah, she just gets into all kind of scenarios with the people in the town that she settles in. The town that she finds is near a beach, so it's really, really cute. It's just super wholesome, like any Ghibli movie if you've watched any of them. It is reading very, very similarly to the movie, but there are some differences, so it's still keeping me really interested and wanting to find out what happens because there are so many situations in this book that aren't in the movie and vice versa. So I'm really enjoying that it's different, but also I can picture the same kind of settings and stuff, which is really nice. And earlier, as you guys saw, I was actually listening to the Kiki's Delivery Service soundtrack, like ambience room, while I was reading this, which was super cute. But now, as you guys can tell from a different setting, I am on my last Patreon stream of the evening to finish the readathon, and we started like 20 minutes ago, so we're in the first sprint and we're gonna hopefully finish around 8 o'clock at the end of the readathon. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of hoping to read this quite quickly, but I thought that I would update you guys for the final time before closing out this vlog and like wrapping up and stuff. But yeah, so far I feel like this is a 4 or 5 star read. The first over 100 pages I read like in one sitting, just like continuously non-stop. Like I didn't even pick up my phone. The only thing I did was like change the soundtrack once it run out and like played it a second time, but I literally read it non-stop. Like it was so entertaining and like just kept me reading, and I just kept thinking while I've been reading this that I really want to read it to like a future child of mine. Like I'm definitely going to treasure this, like not only because it's a gift from a patron or like a gift from anybody, but because I really want to keep it for my children, because I think this is like one of those rare books that you pick up that you'd actually want to like read to them. Hi what did you do in the first sprint? Oh my god, that's so good to hear. I'm definitely gonna get it then. I'm definitely gonna get it. I finished reading the first 3 chapters of volume 1 and I'm really liking it so far. Shiva is so sweet. Yes, you're so right. And the tea party they had was really cute. But I feel like the story is going to get really dark. Yeah, it does get very mysterious. That's kind of what I like about it. But it can also get a little bit frustrating because if you don't have like all of the volumes, there's always like a cliffhanger. I think I read 25 pages, wow, and I also did a vlog clip. So yeah, this book is a really, really fast read. I'm only at 13%, but I'm enjoying it so far. It's nice to go back to the Cool Prince world. Yeah, you're so right. Like, that's my favorite thing about it. Hello everybody, the readathon is officially over. I just wrapped up the live show with my patrons, which was actually so nice. I love doing live shows on there. So I actually ended up finishing Kiki's delivery service with 2 minutes to spare. I actually had time to spare, which is shocking. But yeah, I finished it. I actually can't believe it. I'm so proud of myself. But to be honest with you, this book made it very easily because it was such an easy, entertaining read. And there were just so many cute stories. Like, in every single chapter it was a different story. Obviously it read just like a kid's book. It made sense. I would say like towards the end, like as an adult reading this kid's book, it did get like a tiny bit repetitive with all of the tasks that she was doing, like the deliveries that she was making. It was like every chapter somebody was asking her to do something and it was her fulfilling the delivery and like all of the problems that came up. So it did get a tiny bit repetitive towards the end. And honestly, I love what Hayao Miyazaki did with the story and how he like deepened it and made it more interesting. The beginning of this book and the movie are very, very similar, but he kind of took it in a different direction and made it about Kiki believing in herself and stuff, which I thought was really interesting, whereas this one was a little bit more straightforward and basic, as you would imagine from a kid's book. So yeah, it still had a very cute lesson to it, but I definitely still prefer the movie. I'm struggling a little bit on how to rate this one just because obviously I don't want to be too harsh because it's not written for me, it's written for a child. And honestly, I think I'd be so happy to read this to a future child, like I said in the previous vlog clip. I'm debating giving it either 4 or 5 stars on Goodreads, but I feel like for me it's like a 4.5, like if I'm being really specific. But honestly, for a kid, I think it's the best thing ever, and I will be recommending this like way more in store now. I already do. There was a very, very cute young girl that came up to me and asked me for a recommendation for her friend, and I asked what her friend likes, and she said that her friend loves cats. And so I said, oh, why don't you pick up Kiki's delivery service? Because as you can see, she has a little cat who's quite integral to the story. And she was so happy with my recommendation and it just made my day. So yeah, I think now that I've actually read this and I can vouch for like how good the book is, I'm going to be recommending this so much to kids that I think will love it. That is actually my favourite part of the job. When a kid asks me for a recommendation, I get a little bit nervous because kids' books aren't really my forte. You guys know that I don't really read middle grade that often. Like, it's very few and far between that I'll pick up a middle grade book. But when I pick out a book for them and they seem to love the idea of the book, it just makes me so happy and brings me like so much joy. And just see them excited for a reading, like it just makes me so happy. Honestly, I feel like I should give it 5 stars. It was such a great read and I think it's like one of my favourite kids books that I've ever read as well. So yeah, I don't think I should be so critical. I'm going to give this 5 stars. I can't find where I got to in chapter 11, but I'm going to tell you guys that I got to at least page 205 of The Stolen Heir, and I'm so happy that I picked this up during this readathon. I'm so excited to continue reading it, and I definitely will after tonight. I think I might save this for this weekend. I've got a day off this weekend, so I might just read this during that afternoon. I think that would be so nice. I'll definitely share my thoughts of this one in a future vlog for sure, or like a wrap up or something, so you guys know what I thought of like the ending and stuff. And I'm sorry I couldn't finish it during this vlog because I think that would have been really satisfying to be able to give you guys my final thoughts on this book, but just know that I'm really enjoying it so far, and look out for my Goodreads rating, I guess. And of course I did finish these 2 books. Obviously this was a short manga that I finished, The Girl from the Other Side volume 4, and I gave this one 4 stars, and then I just finished Kiki's Delivery Service and gave it 5. I also did finish my audiobook Mean Baby by Selma Blair, and I think I gave that one 4 stars as well. So this readathon's been very, very successful. I finished 3.5 books. I feel like I did really, really well this month. So yeah, let me know if you guys read any of these books in the comments and what you thought of them. I would love to get talking to you guys about that. If you made it this far in the video, leave a black cat emoji for Gigi. And as always, my social media links are all down below, including my Patreon, where I do live shows like I've discussed, these sorts of readathons with my patrons on Discord, and much more. We've got a book club, we've got a live show bi-monthly discussion of our book club, that kind of thing. So yeah, if you're interested, then definitely pop over there and have a look. But yeah, my Instagram's linked below and my Twitter, which I never use. So yes, all very useful information. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye.